Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and you've made it to Friday Fun Live. So glad that you could be here. Um, I'm broadcasting here from a very rainy and chilly 43-degree Maryland suburb. Enjoying the fall weather. Most of the leaves, three-quarters of them have fallen off the tree and landed on our driveway in our yard somewhere. Yeah, it's a great time of the year. It's sweater time of the year. It's poncho time of the year, and I love it. It's one of my favorite times. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. I'm going to go ahead and just jump in and say hello before I fill you in on some newsy things here, which I don't have a whole lot today, but Susan B, so good to see you in the chat. She says, morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great week. Can't wait for the live today. But thank you so much, Susan, for being the first one here today. And love to craft. It's good to see your hand waving in there. And Angie and Alana and Kelly Hart. I am doing well. Grace is sufficient. God's grace is sufficient for me. But to let you know, Kelly, my back is a different part of my back has been affecting me this week. The lower part has limited my mobility, but it's not been the stabbing pain that the upper part of my back brought 2 weeks ago. So different part of the body making its self known, but we're pushing through, and it's I'm not in screaming pain. I am just uncomfortable if I stand or sit, and it's actually getting much better. So I've had I guess since Sunday to try to work it through. So it's getting much better. I can actually put my socks on today. If you guys have struggled with back pain, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, things are much better. But thank you, Kelly, and happy birthday, Kelly. And I'm sorry you haven't received your magazine. I mailed it out last Friday or Saturday or Friday. As soon as I got your address, I gave it to the post office. So hopefully they'll get it to you soon. I know this is the time of the year where they start to get very, very, very busy. All right. Hey, Linda, Brad's mom. So good to see you in the chat. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my beloved Yarnies from sunny and pleasant Southwest Chicago suburbs. Yay. And Michelle, good to see you. She says it's a chilly, cloudy, 31 degrees in Helena, Montana. She says, got my coffee to keep my hands warm. Good for you. Yeah, it's not as cold here, but we're expecting to get those temperatures you got there. We're expecting them in a couple days. So send it on. And Margita from Sweden, so glad to see you in the chat. And if Hannah hasn't joined us yet, she will be joining us shortly. And thank you for wishing Kelly a happy birthday. Kelly, I do hope you have an absolutely wonderful day today. And Johnny's good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. He says it's a cool 88 degrees. Yeah, cool 88 degrees in South Florida. I kind of miss Florida this time of the year. I do like the falls down in Florida. You do feel the temperature change. You do feel the crispness in the air down there, usually in the morning. But yeah, I do miss Florida, probably more as the weather gets colder. But I'm so glad you could join us today, Johnny. And Alana, yeah, thank you for that reminder. If you could hit the thumbs up, that just helps the algorithm know that there are some folks interested in what we have to do here today. And Sheila, okay, I just got a bunch of things load. Hold on a second. Sheila Collins says, good morning, afternoon, evening to everyone far and wide. Absolutely. And hoping all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Sheila. And I hope your sister does get to come down to visit with you, Kelly. That would be fantastic. And she says she's crocheting a medium dog sweater for a customer and wants it by winter. Good for you. Okay, Hannah is back in the saddle again. Thank you, Hannah. She's joined us. She was out serving grandma again, working hard as usual, and needed to get a quick shower before she could come join us today. So glad she is able to do that with us. And Denise, it's good to see you from Windsor, Ontario. She says it's currently 51 degrees Fahrenheit with a high of 55 and partly sunny skies. Yeah, it's 43 out now, but it's expected to not get much warmer, but only to get colder throughout the day. And I think that's what this rain has to do with what we have. So we're going to be driving in rain today as we travel to visit my son and his wife in Pittsburgh out today. So we're looking forward to that. And Rachel, it's good to see you. And um, ah, Johnny says he's finally off on a Friday, Veterans Day. Yeah, my husband is home too. So hence time to take a quick trip. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your day off, Johnny. Yeah, I'm flattered that you're spending it with us. How sweet of you to do that. I still need to get down there sometime. Actually, Becky and her family are traveling in your neck of the woods. I don't know that they're in your area where you live, but they've been pretty far south along the West Coast this week. And my other grandson just got a text earlier. This little guy is rolling over already. I mean, it's just happening too fast, you know? It's kind of funny because I sent his mom, my daughter-in-law, sent her a little text that said, "Game over. Your life is just about to get busy right now." Um, Let me turn this off so you don't hear all the dings. Well, let me just check on that and see what that I have no idea what that was, but I just want to make sure that I can read Hannah's alerts that she sends me. Let's see. Oh, Ola Joe. Ola Joe, I feel like I have to apologize to you. I'm so sorry about what happened with Noom. I never saw the notification, so I don't know if that was me or Noom. Probably me. But again, I hope we can work that out again. I'm sorry. We had a Zoom. We've got another one coming up on November 20th. We are having Zoom hangouts for the Watch subscribers. The Watch channel is a paid subscription to my work. It has some exclusive video footage as well as many complementary patterns. So many of the patterns that I sell in my Lovecraft store, you can download them really, complimentary as the patterns are released to that channel. So, anyway, we have a Zoom hangout. We had one this past Tuesday, and I am still learning this platform. I thought I understood it. I've taught from it several times, but when I'm administrating it and the talker and person who does stuff on it, it makes it a little more challenging. So I am going to take and look at a tutorial before I go do the next one. But so those of you who are on the Watch channel, thank you so much for your kind monthly support there. Um, but the next time will be November 20th. It's a Monday evening at 8 p.m. And I'm adjusting the times so that more of the West Coasters and maybe people overseas can join us. So if you're a Watch subscriber and you're from Europe and places where we're, 8 to 12-hour differences, please contact me and let me know what time works best for you. And I will try to schedule one of the Zoom hangouts when you can join us. Okay. So, those of you who are subscribers in that on the Watch channel. Um, okay. So, let's see here. Oh, we have Carol G from Disney's California. Yeah, I've been there, Carol, and Anaheim. Stayed at the hotel about 2 really long blocks away from Disney World, no, Disneyland, excuse me. And Hannah and I just had to go. I mean, what else you gonna do when you're only 2 blocks away, right? And we had a fantastic time there. It was right on the heels of them opening the new Star Wars exhibit. This was right after you didn't have to have special tickets and all that. And Hannah and I just had a wonderful mommy-daughter day there. We got to fly the Millennium Falcon. So I mean, what else? What else can you expect? I mean, it was just a grand day for us as mom and daughter. And let's see, we have Sheila from Utah. Hey, Sheila, so good to have somebody from out that direction. And thank you, Ola Joe. She's saying, "Happy Veterans Day to you and all." Thank you all. Yes, those of you who have served in the military, who are serving in the military, who have been a spouse of a military person, God bless you for what you do, and thank you for for serving us and really in the United States for literally keeping the world a safer place to be. I can't help but think of my dad. He's with the Lord now, but he was a very much a proud veteran, loved serving his country and Korea. He was over there in that in the war for about 2 to 3 years, and yeah, I think of him. That's what the picture that I posted recently in my newsletter was. There's a picture of my dad when he was over there with some of the men who helped to win the freedom for South Korea. And it was such an amazing thing. And Hannah and I got to go to Korea with our church years ago, and just to be able to be where my dad was, whew, so special for us. Okay, not gonna lose it this morning. Dawn, so good to see you in the chat, and Izzy, and Tiffany Wilson, and JoJo, and Donna from sunny Ohio, and Monica from Southern Illinois, and Sandy. So good to have you guys in. And Archer Nace, it's so good to see you in the chat chair. Try that again. In the chat, Terry. And she says, oh no, she says, I'm having back spasms as well. I'll be working while you chat. I am so sorry. I will pray for you, my friend. I'm not having the back spasms. I'm just having the lower back. It kind of goes out more than I do these days. Oh, that's right. Okay, okay. Hannah corrects me about flying the Millennium Falcon. She did not get to fly the Millennium Falcon. I flew it with another gal, and Hannah was our gunner. Good job, Hannah. She took out all the bad guys for us. So thank you for correcting me on that, Hannah. But that was such a fun time. And Hannah got hassled by some of the stormtroopers while she was walking around. It was hilarious. It was such a such a wonderful time. And let's see, Teresa from a very chilly Utah. And we have Claire. Good to see you in the chat, Claire Starred 56. I like that name. And Charlotte Bruce says, happy sunny Friday. Please pray for my husband leaving to take him for a biopsy of the thyroid. Let me write that down because I need to write down Terry too. So hold on. I'm a slow writer, can you tell? And then I'm going to write this down about your back, Terry. If I don't write it down, it's in one ear and out the other, just like, Teflon brain. Oh, yeah, Hannah's reminding me of our time in Disneyland. She said we had the first time buttons because that was our first and only visit to Disneyland. We've been to Disney World, but Disneyland, it was our first time. So we had the first time buttons. So the cast members she says, like to interact with the first timers. Yeah, and they actually we were looking at the Disney Star Wars stuff at first, and it looked like the line was pretty long, but because we had the first timer buttons on, um, these guys, couple of the cast members asked us, why aren't you in the line? And we're like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of long, we're not so sure. And they said, come with us, and they bumped us. They took us into the special door and put us right in where we got right on the ride. I mean, yeah. So if you were ever a first timer to either of the Disney parks, get those buttons because you get special treatment and it's wonderful. Or if it's your birthday or wedding anniversary, there's a special button you can wear and they treat you special. They really do give you extra treats and help you through different things. I hope that's the way it would work, because that's the way it worked for us. So that was a lot of fun. We really felt like we were treated very well because of that. All right. I hope things go well with your husband, Charlotte. I do. Yeah. Okay. I do know some things about the thyroid stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it because I know just enough information to get into a lot of trouble. So I'm not going to say much more. Um, I do know that I do know one thing about it, that there is a very high rate of cure for issues. Um, regarding cancer and so forth. I've learned that from my husband's experience working at in research over the years. But anyway, we've had friends who have had trouble and have come away very well with that. Okay, so Hannah's telling me that a couple of you weather is it Weatherbees and DL Crisp are asking about the sweater. Thank you. It is brand new. I finished it this week. This was yarn that I purchased at the Interweave conference way back in what was that, May? I can't remember when. But this will be coming out in the new year. I'm not going to be able to get this out before 2023 finishes, but look for it probably in January. And it's one of these sweaters where you can make it as a summer sweater without the long sleeves. And I do have photos that I took of it with just, without the sleeves, without the long sleeves. But I like to wear long sleeve sweaters because I wear my sweaters mostly in this time of the year, fall, winter, early spring. And I used a sock weight hand dyed yarn from a company called, what's a small business called Nitty Gritty Fiber Arts. And I forget the name of the color, but I just fell in love with it. It just has a mixture of greens and browns. And I just thought, these are my colors. And I had an interesting thing happen. I ran out of yarn. Yeah, I played yarn chicken and lost this week. And so I ordered some online, and I don't even think you can tell where I added the yarn in. Um, I can't tell where the new yarn was added in. So even though I didn't order it all as one lot, I ordered an extra one, and it looks fine to me. I am really enjoying wearing this. I think I may wear this to Pittsburgh. Um, and Johnny wants to know if the sweater is unisex. Johnny, it's very simple sizing. I mean, there's nothing curvy about this. Well, I can stand up a little bit. Well, I probably shouldn't because of my back. It'll take me 5 minutes to get settled in this chair again. I've got a pillow and everything. But let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. Okay. But I think I don't like the look of that. I think it is. It's a very simple design. If you like wearing yoke sweaters like this, go for it. And the design is simply in the round. It's basically a no sew sweater. I'm trying to think, did I sew anything? I did not sew any of this. The part, you crochet the yoke, and then you crochet the or under the arms to do the body part, and it's just a tube. It's just a straight tube. But because of the yarn and because of the wattle stitch, um, let me see if I can show you. Because of the wattle stitch, there's a lot of elasticity to this, even though it's not stretchy yarn, it's just superwash merino. The wattle stitch, will curve to you if you're a female. If you're, like as the old Gilligan's Island, ginger, it'll look good on. Or if you're Gilligan, I think it would look fine too. It's just straight, and then the arms are just crocheted around and around and around in rounds. And again, the wattle stitch, it's very straightforward. Um, I think it can be. I mean, I market it mostly for women, but yeah, I can't get my guys to wear stuff like this. But if you guys want to wear it, absolutely. And I think, a color like this, I think could go either way. And even like a nice brown or gray, I think would look spectacular. Or even, a Christmassy red or something like that. So yeah, I think it's also very easy to size to different sizes. And I do talk about that in the video. I know there's concern out there in the crochet world about sweaters that aren't sized for everybody, on both the small and the large ends of the spectrum. And some of my stuff does fall into that category. It's not sized for everybody. Part of that was, I the having to do with working with publishers, which can be somewhat limiting. But the other thing is, not everything looks great on everybody. I mean, there are things that a lot of new designs out there. Anything short waisted, I just stay away from because it just doesn't look good on me personally. At least I don't think it does. I like the longer things. Um, but all that to say, with this sweater, I think it'd be very easy to adjust to larger sizes. It's just a matter of adding extra stitches under the arm for the width for the torso, and that can be done. It's very easy. And then when you're adding the extra stitches, you're also enlarging the arms where you need it to be larger. So yeah, I need to do a video on that. I really do need to do a class on how to adjust patterns, because even if you're in the, let's say, 6 to 9, I mean, I'm past that size, but even if you're in the non-X, 2X, 3X sizes, that doesn't mean things are going to fit you perfectly then either. None of us are the same, and really in any way. So and what I often recommend when you're making any of my sweaters is to have a shirt or a sweater that you love and you love the way it fits you, and to have that available as a measuring tool. And when you're working those stitches, if you need to add stitches, and usually if it's a wattle stitch sweater, it's very easy to add just multiples of 2 or 3 to enlarge it. Of course, you do that on both sides. And if it measures, if you're crocheting across when you're laying it flat, measures the same as that nice shirt or sweater that you like to wear, it's going to fit you the same way. There's nothing magical about the numbers of these stitches. There are so, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but there are so many variables when you see these written patterns. That's why gauge is really important. If you don't know what that means, I have some videos on gauge that you can watch later. But and if you change up the yarn or whatever, it affects the whole thing. So that's why I say the numbers are not, I mean, they're important, but they're not as magical as people think they are when it comes to garments. What's more magical is if you have a sweater that you're trying to match the size of for yourself or a friend, and that's the way you nail the size. It, it's not rocket science. Um, it's actually quite easier than people think. So I need to do a video on this for you guys. But I do talk about this a lot when I do my sweater videos. I do say, do this now, check the sizing. And that's all it takes is just check, check, check. All right, now that I'm woefully behind here, I do want to show you something before I get back to saying hey to folks. I do have a new design coming on Monday to the YouTube channel. This is a very easy, it's a quick and well, it's an intermediate pattern because it is the woven stitch. So it's not an easy beginner, but I think it is a confident beginner project where someone who wants to learn the wattle stitch, this is not wattle stitch, the woven stitch, excuse me, um, can do that. This is just, a simple cowl that you can wear under your clothes, under your coat in the wintertime if you don't want to mess with a full length uh, scarf. It's made with one hank of sock weight yarn. It was one of those colorful, crazy colored hanks that I had in my collection in my yarn stash. And I'm like, what in the world am I going to do with this? It was so pretty when I bought it. And I just thought this will make a lovely cowl. So that's what we made. And it has the ribbing at the beginning, ribbing at the bottom, and it crochets up very quickly. The yardage in this was approximately 463 yards of the hank that I had. Now, you might be able to bump up if you want to make this in thicker yarn. You can, but you probably need to make fewer stitches because this is made with a size G hook and size 1, which is fingering or sock weight yarn. If you're a watch channel supporter, member, this is already up. I added this up this morning, so the complimentary pattern and the video are there for you now. Now, as a Christmas, just thinking that this would be a really good gift giving item if you're looking for something that, besides a pot holder or something that maybe you've given in the past, but something that's maybe a little bit nicer, but you don't want to break the bank and you don't have time to make someone a sweater or something big. This could work up very quickly and easily. You can take it, when you drive around, drive on trips and stuff. It's real easy to finish one of these. In fact, I've got an extra thing of yarn up there I've been looking at, and I'm like, what am I going to ever do with this? I just may make another one while I travel on this trip that I'm getting ready to go on in a little bit. What was I going to say about this? Oh, Now, through the end of the year, once this pattern is up, actually, it is uploaded to Lovecrafts. I don't have the link yet for that, but it is uploaded. And the pattern, I'm going to have this as a free pattern for for the rest of the year. After 2023 is up, it's going to be a normally priced $3.99 pattern. So if you're looking for a free pattern for this, you can check that out. Again, the video comes out on Monday, and the pattern will be in Lovecrafts only because I can't put free patterns in Etsy. So only I have that up in Lovecrafts. And so, yeah. I also think this would look great. I'm looking at some of my yarn around here. I think this would also look really, really nice in a solid color as well. And I'm looking at some yarn over there that I've got waiting for this. It's called Chocolate. I'm gonna make a chocolate cowl. So I think that will probably go with more things too. All right, let me get back to saying hello. Oh, we have Ivana. Wow. I wonder if she's from France. She looks like she's speaking French. I say bonjour. I mean, so glad you can be here, Ivana. That's about the beginning and end of my French, unfortunately. And Chiquita Woods, so good to see you in our chat today. And let's see, Denise and oh wow, a star at 56 says it's snowing in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. Wow. Yeah, we haven't gotten any snow yet, but my son and daughter-in-law have in Pittsburgh. And we have Nico. Good morning to you. I remember that from last week. And Janet from Manchester, UK. Wow. Welcome from across the pond, my friend. And Dorothy, she says, "Hi, Bonnie. I'm new to the chat from Kentucky. Um, don't know what you are all about, but I'm willing to find out." Well, Dorothy, we are just a bunch of crocheters, knitters, some of us, and we're just hang out on Friday afternoon. Like I just showed you, I show you some things that are new, talk about stuff that's happened um, in our little crochet universe. And I need to remind whoever, let me see, let me well, anyway, I can't check it right now, but two of our winners never got in touch with me yesterday. Last week we had a drawing, and I posted the names in a video description. So check the video description because two people. I mean, Dottie got back with me, but there are two people who won copies of this leaflet, Celtic Crocheted Throws. Yeah, Celtic Cable Throws to Crochet. I'm trying to read backwards, and I'm not good at it at all. So if your name is down there, get in touch with me so I can send this out to you. But yeah, we just talk about stuff. If I've got yarn, I do some show and tell, and I'm going to be showing you some books in just a bit. So yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for your notes there. And oh, good. Kelly says her mom is taking her to lunch for her birthday. How sweet. And going to the yarn store. And to the grave and clean his, I guess work. Yeah, okay. Well, good for you, Kelly. That is so good. And welcome. Is it we three bees? Is that we three bees? Is that how you say that? Welcome to our chat. Rachel says it's drizzling 45 degrees here in Maryland. Yeah, it's about where we are here. A little cooler, maybe because we're just a little bit further out of town, Rachel, but yeah. And Nico says, we have a chilling 48 degrees Fahrenheit in Germany. Too cold for me. Ooh, yeah, that is chilly. Thanks for saying it in Fahrenheit, because if you tell us Westerners something in Celsius, I just kind of look at you like, with the headlights in our face, kind of the look. Yes, Johnny wants to know if this is a new leaflet. It's a new leaflet, but it's a compilation of designs you've probably already seen. It's 7 designs that were previously released, Johnny. and it was just released about a month ago on Amazon. It's just to make these available. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, because sometimes these throws come up and in the feed, and then they kind of get lost, and nobody sees them again. Um, and I think they, I kind of it's just another way to keep them before everybody's eyes here. And like these samplers, this is something that we did several years ago, and a lot of new folks have never even seen this one. And then of course the throw of grace. And then this is the new one, the Celtic braided throw. So that's pretty much the latest on that. I do have some ideas. I guess I do y'all ever dream and crochet? Last night it may sound really bizarre, but I was designing a pattern as I was sleeping last night. I couldn't get it out of my head or turn it off. So I think I was sleeping and dreaming this. So I went to bed thinking about it and thought about it most of the night. So I'm looking forward to just experimenting with my hook on our little drive that we're going to go on in just a bit, and just to see if I can flesh out some of these ideas that were rambling around in there. Um, Michelle says, you can to Starred 56. You can keep your snow on your side of the divide. Yeah. Although this year, if it snows, we actually have, for the first time in 20 years living in our home, we have a paved driveway now. It's not just rocks and dirt. So it's really tough to shovel rocks and dirt when you have snow, and your driveway is just a bunch of pebbles and stuff. But this year it is paved. As I like to tell my husband, I crocheted that driveway. So thanks to the support of the crochet business, we were able to pave our driveway this year. So if we do have to get it out and shovel the snow, at least we know where the driveway begins and the snow ends. It'll be so much easier. Not sure my back's going to be shoveling snow, but we do have a little snow blower thing that we've added to our lawn tractor. So it's just getting that hooked up. It's a little bit tricky, but we do that at the beginning, and it should be good to go. And we have Vicky from San Diego Plant Center. Wow. Welcome to our chat. I don't know if that means you're good or bad with plants, but I could probably adopt that name too, because I have killed my fair share of these of plants in my lifetime. And what I haven't killed, the deer have eaten. So Johnny wants to know, where can you buy the book? Johnny, this is on Amazon.com. It might be some other online venues as well. I think sometimes they can be available at Walmart.com and some other booksellers. But I also have it in my Etsy store, and all the links are in the video description. I'm continuing to ship out books, but just know that nothing's going to ship this weekend. Anything, orders that come in now and until throughout the weekend, I'll be shipping out, getting them together for Monday. But I have many different books. Just for those of you who don't know, if you're looking for a special gift for Christmas, and you want a signed autograph book, I have plenty in my online Etsy store. And I do sign these before they go out. And if you want special directions to sign it to a particular friend or whatever, just put that in the message when you order, and I'll be happy to do whatever you'd like with these. So I have many available. I have some of the Leisure Arts leaflets still left. Once the Leisure Arts leaflets are done, I think I'm not going to renew those. I'm not going to make those available as much. It's just I'm just not going to be doing as many of those. But I do have my absolute beginner crochet book. Again, the ones that I'm going to show you now, have complete video tutorials for left and right handers for all the designs in the books. So I have my absolute beginner, which is a simplified beginning book. I don't believe you should give a beginning crocheter an encyclopedia this thick and say, oh, learn all this, and then you can start crocheting. You don't need to learn all that. You just need to get busy working, trying it out, and I have explicit directions on how to start, and I think in a very, very good way that will help you start with good habits from the very beginning. And then for those seasoned crocheters, I've got a lot of Afghan throw type books, like the one I just showed you. Four Seasons is another one. There are 6 designs in this one. We also have the standby cable crochet made easy. And I do have a beginning baby blanket book. I don't have one to show you, but there is a beginning baby blanket book. And if you spend $50 or more for a limited time while supplies last, I am offering one of 4 other books for free. These books have excellent patterns in them as well. I do not have video tutorials um, for most of these, but there are stitch videos that you can see. So here's one on baby blankets. Here's one on how to enter the fair, your local fair, if that's something you've wanted to do. It's mostly it's somewhat autobiographical too, about how I was able to do well at the fair, and I pass on these helpful hints to you. Bags and backpacks. I do have this backpack on my YouTube channel. And then we have another super scarves booklet, and the scarf that you see on the front, that is on my YouTube channel. It looks very different because I used a Noro color changing yarn, but I do demonstrate how to make this with smaller yarn so that, if you don't want a huge scarf, you can make it into a normal size scarf. So anyway, you can get one of these for free. You just have to tell me about it. This is not an offer that I'm advertising anywhere else, only by word of mouth on my lives and in my newsletter. So nobody else knows about this. So if you spend $50 or more, and all of these, unfortunately, this is for the US because it's prohibitively expensive to ship overseas. And these are all available on Amazon internationally. So it's much easier to just buy them from Amazon. They ship locally and probably even for free to you. But if in the continental U.S., all these orders are shipping for free, so there's no extra shipping charge. But you do need to let me know that you want this deal, and you need to tell me which booklet you want. Okay, so I hope that's hopefully a little bit clearer than mud. So yeah. Um, let's see, where did we leave off? Okay. Yes, We3B says to pray for Israel. Absolutely. I got my little flag in the background. Have, my family has friends there. We were just there last year in Israel, in the heart of this. Um, yeah, and at the port of Ashdod, and visited many sites in many different towns in Israel. So we're, like many of you, very saddened and concerned about what's going on there. And yeah, we are all about supporting them through our prayers and however else the Lord shows us how we can support them. So thank you, We3Bs. I appreciate that. Um, all right, I think I'm catching up slowly. Let's see. We have Ramona from Anchorage, Alaska. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the chat. That I would love, love, love to go to Alaska. I'm looking at the cars going by, hoping the Amazon guy comes to my house soon before I leave. But yeah, I would love to go to Anchorage. That's one thing I'd love to check off my bucket list, or go to Alaska and see that wonderful wilderness. And Izzy, so good to have you in the chat with us. And Jacqueline from Los Angeles said, finally made the live. Yes, ma'am. And again, Hannah, thank you so much for all that you're doing to help us here. And oh, thank you, Ola Joe, for understanding. I so appreciate that. I'm going to get this thing right. We're gonna get it right. Well, it just takes time. And Deborah, she says, good morning, lovely crochet people. Absolutely. Crochet people are the best in the world. Well, not in a prideful way, I say that, but certainly the nicest I've ever met. And Monica Banks, she says 57 and sunny, so gorgeous outside with all the leaves changing. Enjoy it while you can, Monica. That sounds wonderful. We had a lot of beautiful days like that here. Um, it's just today's our day to get the rain, so it can get a little bit colder. It's yeah, I love this time of the year. Oh, yay. Cynthia Burke says, got my paint box yarn for the Celtic braided throw. Yay. Great sale. Yeah, I'm still waiting on my yarn. I ordered it right away. So I hope they haven't misplaced it. So no, I'm sure they haven't. They probably were overwhelmed, but I'm so glad you were able to take advantage of that. I was able to order like 40 skeins of the yarn. The sale is done for now, but if another one comes along like that, I will let you all know. And for those of you who used my affiliate link, thank you so much for doing that. Um, for those of you who don't understand affiliate links, I have a lot of them in the video description. It's just sometimes you get a little reward, just a little financial, a little benefit for pointing someone towards a sale or towards something. And I don't have links. The links that I have, the affiliate links, are only things that I believe in, things that I say, yes, I trust this. This is good, and it doesn't cost you anymore. So thank you all for taking the time to use those. It just it just helps me to be able to do what I do here. Um, it just helps pay bills occasionally, and sometimes it contributes to helping to pave a dirt driveway. So you never know where where who it can benefit and how. So thank you. And Kelly says, babies grow up fast. Before you know it, they're adults. Oh, I know, Kelly. I keep telling my kids, and like, they're rolling over today. They want to drive your car tomorrow. So watch out. It happens, lickety split. If you blink, you know, it's done. I remember being a brand new mom with Becky, one little baby, trying to figure it all out. I don't know how I went from there to a grandmother of two, married for 35 years. I mean, I'm just like, how did that happen? But it happened really fast. Um, and I've been blessed beyond anything, yeah, anything I could have ever dreamed, to be honest with you. Thank you, Hannah, for posting your comments there and helping me with this. Um, oh, thank you, Cynthia. I'm so glad you could join us. Cynthia joined us for the and Zoom hangout on Tuesday, and just to let you know, still praying for you, my friend. I mean, I got you on my list now. So, and it's just wonderful. I will say a little bit about the Zoom hangout with for the watch folks. And the groups have been very small, which has been really manageable and really good. We can really get to know each other. It's not, they've been under 10. So if you've thought about doing that and thinking, "Oh, I can't do it," um, just know the numbers have been small, and I like that, and it gives me a chance to not do all the talking, to hear other people talk and learn about their life, and where they're from, and just to get to know each other better as real friends. And I love that. And we do talk crochet. We do a little show and tell, and we can do it from both ends, not just my end. And just to let you know too, these are not being recorded. They will not be rebroadcasted. These are in a sense private conversations that we're having, as it's like having like a crochet group that you would get together at the store or at your home, but we're doing it with Zoom. And people from all over the country coming together, sharing this, a common love. And I just think it's just a lot of fun. So we're going to try to do that. I know the holidays are upon us, that I'm going to try to stay true and try to do it about twice a month. Not sure how December is going to work yet, but I'm going to make that my goal, twice a month. And I am going to vary the day and the time so that we can have as much participation and give everybody who wants to participate, an opportunity to be able to join us. Um, oh, great. And Teresa said that I missed the first Zoom call due to work, so having it at 8 will work out great for me. Yay. And that's and if we have to make them more in the evenings, that's wonderful. I kind of have avoided the evening simply because um, that's the time my husband is home from work, and I want to prioritize my time with him. But, certainly, one night out of the, 1 or 2 nights out of the month isn't gonna be too disruptive, so we can do that. And Deborah says, "Yeah, Zoom sounds so fun." It is when I work it properly. So, and again, I'm having to, work on that. And another thing about Zoom, whether you join the Zoom call or just doing a class on Zoom or whatever, make sure a day or two before your scheduled class that you check the app and that you look for updates, because apparently, I guess since Zoom can be a big target for hackers, they're continually having to update it like weekly almost. So make sure that you have the latest version and all the updates available, so that you can receive the broadcasts. Sometimes, if you don't have the latest update, you're not going to be able to participate. So do that proactively at, if not the couple days before, at least an hour or so before, so you don't, get hung up needing support at the wrong time. Has that ever happened? Yeah, it's happened to me. I had to broadcast from my phone the very first time because I didn't realize that the app on my computer um, would not even update, because it was so old. So, and it wasn't that old. So make sure that you are proactive with that software stuff. And oh, we have Katie from South Dakota. Wow. Every time I hear from that area of the country and the Dakotas, I think of Little House on the Prairie. Forgive me, but we read so many of those books um, when my kids were in homeschool. I can feel Hannah's eyes rolling up in her head right now. She was not a big fan of that series, but anyway, I'm talking about the books, not the television show. But anyway, um, we have Isabel from France. Wow, Isabel, so glad you could join us. I so love visiting your country. I will say, categorically, Paris is the most beautiful city I've ever seen in my life. And I think Switzerland probably the most beautiful country. But that's not putting anybody else down. But I was just it was overwhelmed by the intricate uh, beauty of the city, which never thought of cities as beautiful, but after going to Paris, I do. So anyway, DL, Chris, oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the sweater. This will be coming in the new year in 2024. And this is going to be called the Celtic braided sweater, or it could be a Celtic braided top. And for the summer version, I omit the the optional trim, the ribbed trim, because that way you can kind of come down a little bit lower on your shoulders if you want for a summer top, and you dismiss the sleeves here, not without the sleeves. And I'm gonna have to try to find some nice cotton material that I can make this in. Do I even have any here? I'll need to search my stash and see what I have. Um, ah, Thank you, Linda, for your sweet comment. And yes, we do thank people, everybody who are served. Yes, thank we. Ola Joe, just remind again for those of you who are joining the broadcast, just want to wish all you veterans and spouses of veterans a happy Veterans Day, and we so appreciate your service and the laying down of your lives, really, to keep the rest of us safe. So appreciate that. And Terry Redmond, thank you for your comment. She's wishing everyone a happy Veterans Day. And this is an American holiday, but I know you have variations of that worldwide and in Europe. Um, oh, thank you for the comment, Hannah, from Darlene from Nashville. Thank you for your sweet comment there, and thank you for the purchase and support there with the arrows and popcorn scarf. I really hope you enjoy that. I so enjoyed being in Nashville this has been about 5 or 6 weeks ago now. And for those of you who weren't here last week and haven't heard the song that I helped work on, there's a link in the video description below. There was a song that my friend Linda Winner wrote. She wrote a couple songs actually for the people of Lahaina, Hawaii, who were just devastated by just an absolute tragedy that happened there a lot of unanswered questions, of course, but she wrote 2 songs, and I was able to play the Native American flutes on one of them, and it's in the video description below. And I know she would appreciate it if you could listen. And if anybody is from Hawaii and knows of a DJ or anybody who can broadcast this song to the people. I mean, her goal, she invested a lot. Linda invested a lot of her own personal, well, all of her own personal funds to record these. It was just to try to bless the people there in some way. And if there's anybody out there who can get that into the hands of somebody who can, get it to the people of Lahaina, we'd really, really appreciate it. It's on YouTube. Um, so anyway, link in the video description below, and please let her know and subscribe to her channel if you can. She's not a huge, doesn't have a huge following, but she is an extremely gifted songwriter. So definitely, give her. She's worth a listen. So I don't just say that because I played on it. I was flabbergasted that she even asked me to come there to do that. I am not anywhere near a lot of these Nashville people, but it was just a real honor to be able to play with her on that one. Um, okay, so someone's asking about a sweater pattern. I do have a sweater pattern behind me. That's not coming until 2024, but this is going to be a big sweater that can fit sizes small to 2X, and there will be sizing for 3 to 5X's included with this pattern that's coming. It's called the Sweet Sloppy Sweater. It's I'll try to move a little bit here. It's made out of very nice yarn. It's 100% rayon, so it'll be nice for the summer. Very breathable. It's 55 inches in for the diameter for the torso, which can fit a lot of people. And it's the material is done into wattle stitch, so it's such that it's very flexible. um, I know it sounds crazy, but I have a similar sweater and I absolutely love it. It looks big, yes, but it's big and flowy, and it covers, it's this one in the back, it comes down, it covers the bum. So it can be worn modestly with a pair of leggings. So this will be coming in the spring. I will try to roll it out probably late winter so that you can have it ready for the spring, and I'm real excited about that. I just have a lot of writing to do to get that out to you. The video has been edited. Just need to work on all this writing. Uh, okay. And Jane wants to know what, okay, the sweater that I'm wearing is made from a sock weight yarn. It's a blend of, it's mostly, I think it's like 75% merino superwash, and then it's mixed with a little bit of like 25% nylon or something like that. It's from a company called Nitty Gritty Fiber Arts. But honestly, you can use any superwash sock weight yarn on this, or even just doesn't even have to be superwash. It can just be regular, any fingering or sock weight yarn. And approximately, let me see what the yardage is. Hold on a second. Uh, Do, do, do. Hold on. I'm trying to get to my, there we go. Uh, it's about 2,200 yards. Yeah, it's a lot. It's about 2,200 yards. So I think this took 5 hanks. I need to verify that with the scale to make sure that I'm doing that right. But I think it was 5 hanks of the nitty gritty yarn. And I really enjoyed working with that. But again, any sock weight, fingering weight yarn could work for this. So if you don't want wool, you can do it in cotton or whatever. So it's just finding the fingering weight to keep the stitches so that they're small. If you went to thicker yarn, it would be super chunky here. And I kind of didn't want that for this particular design. So So fingering weight is the way to go for a lot of these crocheted sweaters. That's my current personal favorite right now. Um, I'm gonna try to finish out here. Oh, wow. Cynthia says, I've served as a spouse. My husband is retired. Remember, we talked about this. Yeah, she's lived in so many different places. Served 22 years, last in the Iraq War. Coming home is the hardest, he says. Wow, I bet it is. Because in such a situation, you're so needed, and the perspective is so different. I know just I've heard that on the front lines, things are, you know what's important and life and death, but then you get away from that. It's where people aren't as busy, their lives aren't as affected. I imagine that is really difficult. But thank you, Cynthia. Please tell him thank you for his service. We so appreciate that. I know my dad was never the same. At least that's what my mom says. When he came back from Korea, it's different coming back into the real, well, not the real world, but to the world at peace. It's a little different. And Denise is thanking everybody as well. Oh, Robin, welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. First time here. I hope you're enjoying our chat today, and feel free to comment. The people here are great. Um, and Carlene, so good to see you in the chat. Yay. And Lynn, thanking the Lord for you too, my friend. I'm still doing my research on Chicago, trying to work out some details. I'm not committing to this. I can't commit categorically, but I'm looking hard at going to the H&H Americas just as an attendee, and just to go and soak it in and maybe take some classes, and to not have a whole lot of responsibilities, just to go and learn. I'm thinking about doing that. And if I do, we are going to have we got to have all you Chicago people, we got to have a dinner together or something, because there's so many of you guys from outside of Chicago. And the H&H Americas thing is at the convention center, which is right outside, not too far from O'Hare Airport, at least according to the map I saw. So, yeah, I need to start making plans for that. Ah, oh, Lynn, you're such an encouragement. Thank you for encouraging Hannah too. And Sandra, gentle with a smile. Is that right? Is that, I think that's what that says. Welcome to the chat. And oh, okay. And DL Chris wants to know where you can access the beret pattern. That Cascade Yarns discontinued it. Ooh, really? You know what? Let me make a note of that. Because I have I'll have to look it up in my computer. Hold on. If you could email me, bonniebay@me.com. I'm not going to get to it right away because we're going to be traveling soon, but I will look that up. I'm pretty sure I have it on my computer, and I can see what I can do. I'll see if I can send this. Since they discontinued it, I'll have to. I can send you a copy. I think I can do that. I don't think I'm allowed to sell the pattern because I sold the rights of that to Cascade Yarn. So I'm going to get in touch with them and see what they want me to do. Maybe they want me to redesign it in a different yarn. I don't know. But I'll see what I can do. I'd like to get that one back up on the. I'd like to get that back somewhere. If it's not going to be on their free site, I can maybe upload it on my channel. So or on my sites. But email me. I can maybe dig up a copy out of my computer if it's still on my computer, because that was a long time ago. Um, thank you for being such a blessing, Lynn, in this chat. You're so good. Um, all right, we got a lot of comments that. Hold on a second. I'm a little behind here. Whew, gosh, you guys have a lot of fun conversation I'm missing here. Um, yeah, Ramona says, yeah, Alaska is beautiful. And we have Sherry from New Hampshire. Um, hey, welcome to the chat. What is new in crochet? And I love your sweater. Thank you so much, Sherry. This is coming out in 2024 sometime, which is just a matter of a few weeks away, really. I mean, we've got what, less than 8 weeks, 7 weeks, six left of the year. Oh my goodness. I need to get busy. And Cynthia said, I would love an Alaskan cruise to see the orca and dolphin pods. Oh, yeah, I would love to do that too. A friend of mine, um, okay, her name. Anyway, Karen, I can't remember her last name, but a friend of mine is actually having a crochet cruise, but it's not a teaching cruise. It's a just bring your crochet and fellowship kind of a cruise down south in February. Karen McKenna. So if any of you all are following Karen, you can check that out. And I know it's that would be so much fun to do. Um, I'm not sure that I can go to. I'm not able to do things. I cannot go to some of those places where they're going because my husband works for the government. But it would be really cool to do that. There are a couple places that I'm not supposed to go, or at least that's the way the State Department has had it for a little while. But anyway, she is doing a crochet trip. I thought it'd be fun to do like something like that to Alaska. Just not go to take classes, but go a bunch of crochet enthusiasts. Bring your crochet, hang out, talk, enjoy each other. Over the meals, and then enjoy the landscape. That would be so much fun. I'm all for it, Cynthia. Um, let's see. And we have Bonnie L in the chat. So glad you could join us. And Kathy H. Um, wow, she's got a bunch of yarn. That's kind of you looking to give it away. Just know that when you pack it and send that stuff off, it costs a lot to ship because I've shipped a lot of yarn to people as gifts, and I tell you, it costs almost as much as buying the yarn outright. So yeah. Oh, so, We Three Bs wants to know, so what was it if you spend $50? That was the offer on my books. That was only on my Etsy store, um, We Three Bs. But, yeah, Lovecrafts had a really good deal last week. It was, if you bought 10 balls or more of a particular yarn, you got 40% off. That offer is done, but they do have other new sales every so often. So if you can look at the links in the video description if you wanted to sign up for their um, for their emailings and stuff. I mean, they email you pretty much every day, but you can be kept abreast of the sales that they're going to have. They have some really good sales going on now. It's just not of the yarns that I necessarily need right now. But and also with Lovecrafts, if you buy $65 or more, which is really easy for me to do, you get free shipping. So whenever I place an order with them, I always make sure it's a big order so that I don't have to pay for shipping. All right. I'm just going to see if there's anybody else that I have neglected here. We have Deborah. So glad that you're in the Deborah. Yeah, Cresswell. So glad you could be here. And Sandra, she said, sorry, I missed Tuesday Zoom group. I really enjoyed the first one. Oh, Sandra, that was so much fun. Thank you for being a guinea pig and, being there for our very first one there. Um, Michelle says, I think I am one of the only people who have never been on a Zoom call. You're not missing a lot, Michelle. I mean, Zoom is, there's nothing magical about it, I guess, but it is kind of cool that you can actually see the people you're talking to and interact in live time. It's kind of the stuff of Star Trek when I was a kid that we never thought possible, and certainly never thought we'd be able to do it from something that's so small that fits in your pocket. I mean, that's just simply amazing to me. Stacy Richards says, arriving late, spent a few days in the Tennessee mountains. Oh, wow. Admiring God's creation. Some leaves still hanging on. Inspiring ideas. Some ideas for crochet colors. Absolutely. Oh, wow. We have, I cannot pronounce this. I'm going to mispronounce it. I know it. Bisiwi. Says, "My first time in the chat. I would love to crochet that sweater. The yarn you use is beautiful. In South Africa, where's a limitation? There's a limitation of wool. Can I use okay, charity. Maybe you mean like cotton. Yeah, I mean any you can use any uh fingering weight, which is like a sock weight yarn, very thin. In the US, we have a numbering system that kind of defines categories, breaks it down a little bit, and it's the category number one. So anything that's a number one uh, would work with this. So yeah, and I know in South Africa there is a yarn company. You can look it up. It's called Good Loops uh, Fibers or Good Loops Yarns, and they have a lot of cotton there. They also have cotton bamboo. I would stay away from the bamboo for this particular sweater because bamboo tends to stretch out over time, and I think you'd end up with a droopy sweater. Now, the bamboo would be good for this kind of a design if you can find it in a sock weight. I think I know they carry a lot of DK weight, but that would be a little on the heavier, thicker side for this. And I always tell people that, there's and a lot of times there's nothing magical about the brand or where I bought my yarn from, but just find a similar type of brand or not brand, similar type of size, and you can pick the fiber you want. And the most important thing that I think there is regarding yarn is if you find the same size is that you have the number of yards, the same yardage, because that's where things can go wrong. It's not a matter of how many hanks. It's like, no, it's how many yards so that you can do the calculation and find out. So I know it can get a little complicated, but that's the way it is. Um, we have Deborah. She says, my son also wants some hanging basket organizers to hang in his sailboat cabin. Thinking of using some nylon or thread. That should be pretty durable, right? Yeah, there's a lot of macrame stuff now because macrame is coming back. And you can get a lot of, yeah, the nylon thread should be fine. But you might be able to find some really nice macrame or even, what do we call that? The paracord stuff that people would make, my daughter Hannah used to make bracelets and things out of that. That's really good to use, I think, for hanging baskets and stuff. And Plant Center wants to know, does Zoom work with cell phones? Yes, you can navigate the meeting from a cell phone, as I discovered because I couldn't get my computer to work for the first one. Yeah. And Kelly Hart says, I just sold another Santa hat for $30 today. What color of yarn do you recommend for the Celtic blanket or Celtic shawl? It depends on what you like, Kelly, but if you're working a Celtic design blanket, I recommend you stick with a lighter color because some of the darker colors could be fine, but I'm saying this with a darker colored sweater. But if you're new to that, I would go with lighter colors. I think lighter colors show the cables much better. Okay, and for this sweater, Susan, I'm estimating about 2,200 yards. Mm, I need to weigh the sweater. I know that sounds weird. I think it's 5. Yeah, I think it's like 5 times 437. I think it's in the neighborhood of 2,200 yards. But I'll need to verify that I don't want you to buy that amount and then be short. And it also depends on the size that you're making too, because if you're making, this is a large. If you're making bigger than a large, you might need more. If you're making a smaller size, you would obviously need less, but yeah, probably no less than 2,000. So yeah, I'm saying at least 2,200 is my guess. And Nico says, talking with Stacy about where in Tennessee. She said, I went for 1 year to the US. I lived close to Tennessee and Georgia in the area. It was beautiful. Yeah, I drive through there a lot to visit my children. It's really beautiful. We have Mr. and Ms. JVZ from Northern California. Welcome, welcome. I need to get to Northern California. I was only in San Francisco once, and that was on the tarmac in an airplane. So I've never been feet on the ground in Northern California. I need to do that sometime. Um, all right. And oh, well, I'm going to leave the conversation there. And we have Jane Scott. Thank you for being here, Jane. All right. We've already talked about the sweater. Again, this is coming in 2024 early, probably in January, and it's called the Celtic braided sweater. How creative. Yeah, I got that word used a lot in a lot of my designs. Um, all right, I think I do need to. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you for the comment from South Africa. I really appreciate that. Um, oh, we have Linda Simpson. Greetings from the UK. Well, welcome, Linda Simpson. Appreciate you being here. Um, oh, Lynn, you're so kind. And yeah, Stacy says, thank you, veterans and families. Prayers for you and yours. Absolutely. They give up a lot. All right. We have Ellen. First time. Is there a theme or just chatting? We're about to wrap up, Ellen. Mostly chatting. I like to respond to people who take the time to comment. I share about books and things, and I share about new designs. So don't forget, new design coming on Monday, the colorful woven stitch cowl. And don't forget about the book offer. And I do have something I want to read. Let me make sure if there's anybody else that I haven't gotten to. I want to be as inclusive as I can here. Uh I saw Michelle's comment. It says, my yarn seems to breed and fill closets too. That's true, except when you need that one more ball of yarn and you don't have it. That's the time they stop doing that. Yeah, I understand. But isn't it fun though to shop from your stash? That's why I like to do things like this too, because you don't have to run out and buy anything really. I mean, you can if you want to get the same yarn. I mean, you'll know where I got it from, but you don't have to. You can just look in your yarn stash and uh, pick out that hank of yarn, that sock weight that's beautiful that you have no idea what you're going to do with it. Now you know what you can do. You can make a beautiful cowl. And I'm looking over here at some yarn that I picked up. I thought, maybe I can make one of these. Well, I do need to run. Didn't mean to go over so much. I wanted to share some words. I know, like I said, we're living in a broken world right now, and we're not oblivious to that. This is not the point of this show of discussing that, because I don't want to add in any divisions or anything here. We love what we do, but we are aware that the world is a broken place right now, and a lot of people hurting, a lot of evil abounding. So I wanted to read some just from Proverbs before we go, some of my favorite verses, and these are committed to my memory, but I'm going to read them anyway. Sometimes it's good to do that. Um, and it's just kind of a rock that we can lean into when the world seems to be falling apart as it is right now. From Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 8. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. I hope that blesses you guys. Thank you for joining us, and I wish you all a wonderful week and hope to see you next Friday. God bless. Bye-bye.